4 words. In Tucker we trust. This is Cory, and this is the Anthem podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. I want to say welcome, everyone, to Hallow Thanks Xmas. Because I don't know if you've noticed.
Start of the season.
Yeah. I walked into Walmart yesterday, and already Halloween and Christmas stuff already going out. It's like, let's not even enjoy one holiday. Let's just skip through one big holiday season.
Yeah.
So, and fortunately, it feels as if it's wintertime. So,
yeah,
that's good.
The wind and the cold.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, I was wearing shorts and t-shirt 2 days ago. Jeans, actual shoes, and a hoodie now.
Yeah, I'm feeling better about it.
Well, you like the wintertime,
yeah,
so
I'm more in tune with the winter. Winter is my spirit season.
The polar bear. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Anthem podcast. Whether you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Dogcatcher or YouTube through the website, thank you for chiming in and joining with us. Make sure that you rate and review us, especially on iTunes, so that we know what you like, what you don't like, all of those things. Make sure you like and subscribe so that, like I noted for Colin this week, he had actually listened to the entire podcast before we even put up anything on social media.
Yeah.
So when you like and subscribe, you get those drops immediately. Whenever they go up on the internet, it's available to you. So
yeah, you
that's
don't
part
have
of
to.
the
You don't have to wait. It's like the Black Friday lines.
Right.
Like, you get the deals before everybody else.
Exactly right.
Get these sweet, funny deals.
And I
do. Immediately after we talk about our young listeners.
Well,
I have no shame.
We are not a PG-13 rated podcast. Oh, you know what you're getting into. What can I say?
The defense has been atrocious.
Oh, yeah. How'd that work out for you this week?
I got 5 points in my matchup against you.
Magic points.
I plan on winning this thing.
Yeah, by the time you hear this podcast, we will know who is the winner of the first OTA battle of the season.
Yeah, the OTA Bowl.
Yeah, well, we'll have another one later on too.
Right,
everybody plays twice, so you'll have another one later on. But the first version, 5 points of dismal 5 points from the defense.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll make them up elsewhere.
Right. We'll see. We'll see how that works out.
I finally am getting healthy.
You mean your team?
Yeah, not me personally. No, me personally. I'm falling apart. But
the team
is getting healthy. So
you had a bench that was just full of suspensions and IR. Yeah. Just not great. But yeah,
and I kept saying to myself, like, is it worth starting Matt Choice?
Who else do I have? Yeah. You don't make a lot of waiver moves either.
Well, it's because I don't want to drop any of the people who are going to be valuable when they get off the injured reserve. Like,
okay, fair enough. That's why I got.
Like, what do I do? Drop Arian Peterson for the flavor of the week just because?
Yeah.
Or Arian Foster. I'm sorry, Arian Peterson.
Yeah. Arian Foster, you could totally put him out on waivers. Would have no problem.
Nobody would pick him up.
He'll be waiting there when you want him back.
No, it's week 4. It's time for Arian Foster to come back, and oh god.
He's now playing for Res Ipsa Locator. Here's something you said at the game, and I took it to heart. A couple of years ago, actually maybe I said it. I think I did say it. A couple of years ago, we were statistically eliminated like mid to late August. So the fact that the last week of the season we were in it is such an improvement.
You did not say that.
Did you say that?
I said that. Okay, I said it on the podcast last week.
Oh, well, whatever.
In fact, if you go to SoundCloud and look for Oh the Anthem, you'll find it as one of the clips.
And so you can find us on SoundCloud. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I don't know if we talked on the podcast about SoundCloud. I think I just posted on the thing.
On Twitter, right?
On the website and on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and Facebook.
And Facebook. Where you can follow Oh the Anthem.
So, if you don't like any of those social media and you like SoundCloud, like that's exclusively where you go.
Right.
You can go to SoundCloud and just find the little clips. Like we break down into little shareable clips, little funnies that you can give to your friends.
Feel free to share with your friends on other social media networks.
Right. On 4chan or something.
Well, isn't he leaving? Isn't Dan leaving?
No.
Isn't he going to the Jays?
No.
I thought that was happening.
No, not now that the Jays have gone to the playoffs.
Yeah. Guess they don't need him.
Yeah. They did it without him.
Can we just fire him then for even talking to another team? I'm like a crazy girlfriend. Yeah. You talk to another team, you're done.
I'm going to cut your dick off.
Way to keep it PG for years. Oh, God.
I forget.
Yes, well, it's a medium without any constraints. So you have
Because internet.
Because internet, that's right.
All right. Earlier, I think the MLB playoffs this year is very compelling because it's got a lot of new teams, which I like.
Yeah.
Assuming that it stands the way it is right now, Friday when we're recording.
Right.
Houston will be in.
Nobody thought they were getting in.
Texas Rangers will be in.
Nobody thought they were getting in.
Blue Jays will be in.
Definitely didn't think that.
Everyone thought the Royals would fall, but yet the Royals have tied for the best record in the American League.
And again, the Royals who, before last year, hadn't been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that too. But then they were.
And then, the National League is, there's a lot of the same
Nationals,
same
right? Nationals are...
Nope.
Oh,
no, Mets.
Yeah. Oh, Mets. Yeah, who saw that coming?
Didn't I call that?
I think you did say the Mets were going to... We have to go back to that episode.
We'll have to go to the tape.
Yeah, go to the tape. Well, we're going to pause here and let you go check it out. No, it turns out Corey was wrong. Sorry.
Oh, damn it.
I just assume. I don't know.
Why? Why so many times?
But no, it's an interesting playoff picture.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but like I said, I go with Luck and Robert Zemeckis. That's where my So, Baltimore Corner, where you get the straight dope. A lot of good things happening in Baltimore. This week was a kind of a week of good things rather than bad things.
And some discouraging things.
Well, depending on how you look at it, I guess.
Well, I guess there's two things that really peaked.
Right.
Well, there's three things, I guess.
Well, go ahead. Jump in where you want.
Number one, there's they unveiled plans for the redevelopment of Harbor Place.
Right.
Make it look a lot more modern, sort of take out the overhangs and the balconies and stuff like that. And it'll have two different sort of feels, like on the street side and the harbor side.
Right. And we lived downtown for a while, and I got to say that it was not the most visually appealing place. But they also kind of had a monopoly down there. So.
It hasn't changed since it opened.
Yeah.
And I think it looks good. I mean, I like a nice, clean, modern design, and I think that one fits well with the city.
Will the change of view make you go there more often, though?
Not really.
I mean, we skipped it last week, but McKeldin's getting changed, too. So
yeah, they're taking down the statue. And
right. But the statue,
well, the abomination.
The abomination of a waterfall that sometimes doesn't have water in it. That didn't when Occupy was there. They turned the water off so that people couldn't bathe in the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that.
Somewhere I will go, though, is where they're going to build the statue of Divine.
Oh, yeah?
I'd like that.
It's
I mean, we already have a statue of Frank Zappa. So,
right. Yeah.
We might as well just go all out. Let that freak flag fly.
Where are they going to build it?
I have no idea. I couldn't even actually find the story you were talking about.
Oh yeah, well, so it's a statue of Divine, but I don't know if it's a statue of Divine. I think it's going to be a some sort of art piece involving John Waters. So it might not be specifically Divine. I think it's going to be maybe if a mural makes more sense, but I thought they said statue. But it'll be artwork of some kind.
Right. I just wonder if that statue will be of Divine eating dog shit.
I hope not.
That would be lovely.
Very Baltimore thing to do.
That would be lovely. You could make a little fence around. You know how some statues have a fenced area around it? Just make it out of pink flamingos.
Make it a dog park with pink flamingos in it.
Ooh.
Listen, mayoral candidates.
Mayoral candidates. Why are we even...
How could you not... I mean, look at all the good ideas we have. If I lived here, I'd run.
We didn't steal from you. We didn't let the city burn.
Oh, are we voting for Mr. Black? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. I have to assume he's a Republican because he didn't put a political party on his website.
So, of course he's a Republican. But on top of that, also, what is it, Roy? Roy Black? Can't remember.
Rick Black?
Rick Black?
I don't know.
But unknown. I have no idea who this guy is, but apparently he's paying a homeless guy to...
No, it's a friend of his.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a homeless guy. Again, Baltimore.
Whatever.
I'm making assumptions, I guess. But he's shouting, vote for Rick Black. I think it is Rick Black.
Yeah.
On the corner of Pratt and... Calvert Street.
Yeah.
So...
basically saying he didn't steal from you, so that's why he's better than other candidates.
And that's where Baltimore politics have come.
Oh, speaking of the shady dealings of the inner city.
Yeah.
As you may have heard, after something happened in the city between the police and the citizens. I mean, I don't remember the specifics. I just know something happened.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
Something happened. But anyway, the police are getting body cameras now.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Wait, weren't they supposed to get those last year?
Yeah, but, budget.
Right. And I think the mayor is the one who deleted that out of the budget.
Well, so here's the thing: we had a speed camera program,
right?
That cost the city a lot of money.
Right. It did a great job.
No, we had to shut it down.
Oh, why is that?
Because they were like shooting off tickets to people who were like parked at red lights and telling people they were going like 70 miles an hour through 30-mile zones when they were going like 25 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah.
And there was no accountability.
Wait. There's a Baltimore program that has massive corruption.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like this city at all.
I know. Brace yourself. This story gets better.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically, the city got stuck in this contract and had to pay a shit ton of money to get out of it.
Right.
At the failure of the company that provided the cameras to the city.
Seems legitimate, yeah.
Anyway, on a completely unrelated note, that same company is now doing the body cameras for the police department.
I'm sure it'll work perfectly.
Because I guess the company is owned by Rawlings Blake's brother or something like that. That's the only reason I can assume.
No, that can't be true. That level of corruption is just impossible.
Wait a minute. Hold on. No, actually, it makes perfect sense.
It does actually make sense, yeah.
Though I used to run, pretty consistently during our old basketball days.
Yeah. The old basketball days. How'd all that running work out for you?
I won games.
How many games did you win?
Some.
How many is some?
Listen, I don't need to get into the details.
Would it be...
The competition I'm currently concerned about is the one where I beat you in fantasy football this week.
Right, yeah. So that's not going to happen either. I'm going to beat you just as badly as I did in basketball, which was greater than 1,000 games to less than 10 games.
All right, we'll see about that.
The epic challenge continues.
We'll see how Arian Foster does this weekend and crushing your hopes and dreams.
You're great at fantasy sports, not so great at real sports. We all got to have our niche. I understand.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Sure. You couldn't handle it. It's okay.
Anyway, moving on.
From one person who lives in a fantasy world to another, Kim Davis is in the news again.
Ooh, I love the intrigue.
Oh, shoot. So, for those of you who don't know, there was two big announcements by Kim Davis's people in the last 2 weeks. The first one was that there was a Peruvian prayer circle with thousands of people that was for her. Turns out not so true.
Right.
And then they announced that, hey, the Pope had a meeting with her, one-on-one, very intimate, to show his support. And then the Vatican's like, well, not exactly true.
Well, first the Vatican was just like, listen, we're not confirming or denying.
Right.
And then people are just like, oh, so she met.
Well, no, then her people were like, that's their way of saying that we met, and they can't do it. So then they were like, well, all right, we got to shut this shit down. And turns out that she did meet with him. Not one-on-one. And very much a receiving line, basically.
Yeah, she met with the Pope immediately after he met with a gay couple that he knew from Argentina.
Right, yeah. So and basically, I think...
Take that for what it's worth.
I think the tone of everything was just like, listen, he meets a lot of people, and he doesn't support her.
Right.
He supports what he says he supports.
Yeah.
And he meets with people who may not be on that level.
Right.
I'm sure he would meet with the Dalai Lama, if it was possible, but that's not him saying like, all right, everybody convert to Buddhism.
Just because McKinley shook the hand of the guy who shot him doesn't mean that he supported what he was doing.
Right. Exactly right. But Kim Davis is making it a big deal, and I think you were telling me about the little bit of backdoor intrigue involved.
Yeah, so this is fun. The guy who set this all up, whose name I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce.
Cardinal.
His name is Cardinal.
Good job.
Anywho,
good job.
He was apparently he's an old school Catholic type.
Yeah.
So he's a Benedictus guy.
That's what happens when you have two living popes.
And he's not too.
You should kill Benedictus.
He's not too happy with this new liberal pope.
Right, of course not.
With his climate change and his acceptance and his
blasphemy.
Yeah. So he basically kind of set this meeting up to kind of fuck with the new pope. And, you know, he maybe gets to call in a little favor and
right, yeah.
Get Kim Davis in there and start a new thing.
Well, and so it's the
But we talked about last week when we were discussing the pope that there's not a lot of he's the man. You can't be voted out of office. He can't. He's in there. Apparently,
you can retire, although that was not done before.
Right.
So yeah.
But he's basically he can't be kicked out of office. So he's the pope.
Right.
But what people can do, and like the bishops and cardinals and stuff like that, is just fuck with you, which is what this was.
Right. Set him up to fail, and then announce to a very pro-religious website that she had a meeting with him.
Right.
Which now is trying to build the association.
All the levels of which this happened was kind of like... So what they did was she met with him at a receiving line, basically, in D.C., and then nobody brought it up until he was about to get on the plane in Philadelphia to go back to the Vatican. And a reporter fed him a question that didn't mention Kim Davis specifically, but said, what do you think about the idea of somebody being told to do a job that's against their religious beliefs?
Right.
And he answered the question like, well, I think that, people should be allowed to stand by their religious beliefs and not have it affect their work. But, like a very canned answer.
Duty to God is highest, and that you should be able to work freely while having that belief.
Not anything specifically about Kim Davis whatsoever. No. And then and then as soon as he was on the plane, that's when the so Kim Davis met the Pope came out.
Right.
And here's a quote from the Pope.
Taken out of context.
Yeah, and apparently when he met Kim Davis, he said, we believe in you, we're standing with you, be strong.
Apparently not true.
Yeah, apparently none of that stuff was said.
But it had legs because he was on a 15-hour flight back to the Vatican.
Right.
And so
it's not like the Vatican was going to spend time disputing, like... The Vatican can't just, they don't have time.
Well, they're billion Catholics in the world. So.
Right, and it's just like the White House. Like, the White House doesn't... During the press briefings, they don't ask about everything. Right. They only ask about the things that are really,
Right.
If I said Barack Obama's a dick, it's not like, some guy at the press conference, or the press briefing is going to be like, Cory from the O the Anthem podcast called Barack Obama a dick. Do you care to comment on that? Be like, who?
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 The best revenge.
Or you'd be like, Cory said that?
Cory. I listen to those guys every Tuesday at otheanthem.com.
Cory at otheanthem.com.
So
I'm going to have to leave him a voice note at 443-219-7595.
I'm sorry, what was that number again?
443-219-7595. This press conference is over.
For those of you who may not know, on Thursday, a student at the school came into his classroom, and apparently, depending on who you ask, the number keeps changing, but what I saw was at least 10 dead and at least 20 wounded. So some reports are coming out from some of the people who were going into surgery or whatever's going on there, that sadly, while people were cowering and hiding, he basically called out Christians and said, hey, if you're a Christian, stand up. And, if you're brave enough, whatever. So after people stood up, he said something along the lines of, well, good, because you're about to meet God, and then shot all of them. tragic on a lot of levels. First level is that people lost their lives unnecessarily.
Right.
On the second level, it's that he, for whatever reason, focused on Christians, even though he was a Christian. But I feel like, I think a lot of these guys do this because they hope they're remembered. And apparently he had 13 guns and body armor, and he was ready for a shootout, and then they just got him quickly before he was ready for it. So maybe he was hoping he'd go down in history or something, but an unbelievable amount of death.
Listen, if somebody came to me, so like say I went to buy a gun,
yeah,
and they said you've been picked for the random super background check,
right? Like the Muslim at the airport,
yeah,
right?
Like, just like all of a sudden it's like you're the one. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, I'm trying to buy a gun,
right?
That's capable of killing people. I can wait it another week, and you know what? Honestly, part of it, I would say, is a media approach has to be taken.
Yeah,
talking about the First Amendment,
yeah,
freedom of press and stuff like that. I think there should be a little bit of a curtailing of that, of the what the press is allowed to talk about in this regard. So, like, at baseball games,
yeah,
if you run on the field, they don't show it on TV,
right?
Because they don't want to give you a moment of fame on television.
Somebody at home recording it, and yeah,
right. They don't want you to like go like, oh man, if I run on the field, then I get to be on TV.
Yep.
Because somebody will do that.
Yep.
And I feel like not showing it has curbed that act a little bit.
Well, and to bring it full circle, the sheriff in Oregon said, "You will not hear anyone from my department use his name. We will talk about the names of the victims, the names of the heroes." There was an ex-military man who basically got shot 7 times in an attempt to take down the shooter.
I saw that.
So we'll talk about him. We'll talk about the victims. We're not going to talk about the shooter. We will refer to him as him or the shooter, and that's it. And that's, I don't know that that's a bad response, is to say these people are nameless and faceless. We can talk about why they do the things they do, because people do look for an explanation.
Right.
But let's not hero worship them. Let's not glorify them. Let's just say this is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing we can promise. We do our research. Some of it's opinion. But you won't hear any of that salacious nonsense about how I hooked up with, Selena Gomez. Sloan.
Is she...
Emmanuel
Emmanuel Shriek.
Is that? Yeah, sure. Let's say that. Let's say that. You won't hear any of that on this podcast.
Until it actually happens.
Well, then you'll hear a lot of it after that happens. So.
Well, when it does happen,
yeah,
the place you're going to want to find out all about it,
right?
otheanthem.com, Cory at otheanthem.com, otheanthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595. And I don't have a voicemail from the press secretary. I'm going to be very upset.
Well, and you can find me online on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out at robertncheek.com, where you can find links to the blog, to a dead drop, which is still working the kinks out, but it's going to be up. I promise it's going to be working. And you can even find links to my books, which are on display now here at the beautiful O The Anthem Studios.
Buy Rob's books.
So you can find me there at Robert and Cheek. And all the big stuff that happens, we seem to be tweeting a lot about it. So I'm enjoying that we're doing that. So make sure you follow there so we can stay up with us. So.
All right. Well, I think we've done good here today.
I think we've done something. I don't know if it's good.
All right.
Well. So you've been listening to the O The Anthem podcast, part of the O The Anthem digital network. For Cory, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
How popular do you think we would be if listening to the O The Anthem podcast put you on the list for the extra background check? You listen to those OTA guys who got to go through the super background check.
Being on this podcast has put me on that super background check.